Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, December the 14th, 2022, it's going to be another interesting day in the markets, and that includes the precious metal markets. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on this video and definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What is silver and gold going to do after Jerome Powell takes that podium at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, and he announces what the federal fund rate is going to be increased by? Is he going to continue on with the 75 basis point increase, or will it be what the majority of people believe he's going to do, and it's going to be a 50 basis point increase? I don't think it's a question of if he's going to increase rates by either 75 basis points or 50 basis points. The question is, which one of those two is it going to be? Now, CPI data did come out yesterday, December the 13th, 2022, and inflation is still running hot. It's not running as hot as they thought it was going to be. It did cool a bit. However, inflation is still going up. Prices are still going up. The things that you and I as consumers pay for, everything is still increasing. It's just increasing at a little bit of a slower pace. So inflation is still bad. It's not a very good thing. It's just not as bad as which they thought it was going to be. So yesterday, on December the 13th, 2022, the CPI data did come out, and the Consumer Price Index, CPI, rose just 0.1% from the previous month and increased 7.1% from a year ago. Core CPI rose 0.2% on the month and 6% on an annual basis. And that did beat estimates 0.1%, 0.1%, not 1%, 0.1% on an annual basis. So it's still not a good number. It's still a bad number. Prices are still increasing. They're just not increasing at a rate that they were previously increasing by. Jerome Powell is definitely going to raise interest rates. Now, I did do a poll a couple of days ago in my community section on the channel, and that poll had 242 votes. And the question was, how much will Jerome Powell raise rates by? And 50 points had the most votes with 60%. 21% of you said 75 basis points. 14% said 25 points, and a big 4% said pivot. This is definitely not going to be a pivot. A pivot is when the interest rates are going to start going down. I don't think interest rates are going to be going down anytime soon. Now, I do think, though, in my gut feeling, this is just my opinion, this is not financial advice, this is just what I think. I do believe Jerome Powell, when he takes that podium, I do believe he's going to raise rates by 50 basis points. So I do think he is going to slow down the rate increase, but I think what he may say when he takes that podium, because even though CPI was a better number than was expected, like I said, still a bad number, just not as bad of a number as they thought it was going to be. If that CPI data that came out yesterday did not beat estimates, if inflation was higher than what that CPI number actually came out to be, I believe Jerome Powell would have increased interest rates today by 75 basis points. But because the number was a tad bit better than expected, I do believe it will be a 50 basis point increase. Now, let me be very clear. I would not be surprised at all if he increased interest rates by 75 points. I think the markets will be shocked if he increased interest rates by 75 points, but I don't. In fact, I think he should increase interest rates by 75 points. I think he will go the route of 50 points. I could be completely wrong, and it could be a 75 point increase, but I do think it will be 50. I think he's going to indicate also, again, just my thoughts, my opinion, I think he's going to say that interest rates are going to be elevated for a longer amount of time, and interest rates are going to continue to go up over a longer amount of time, just not by as much every time the Federal Reserve meets. So instead of doing a 75 basis point increase, he's going to do maybe a 50 basis point increase, and then maybe he'll go to a 25 basis point increase, and then maybe he'll go back to a 50 basis point, or maybe he'll just do 25 basis point increases going forward. I do believe, and we're going to have to pay attention to what he says, because let's keep in mind, what he says today is going to move the markets one way or another. The markets are going to go up or the markets are going to go down based on the words that come out of his mouth today. So what he says today, in my opinion, is going to be very important. One of the worst things that Jerome Powell could do today is leave uncertainty in the markets. Have a plan. Let people know what your plan is. What is your roadmap? What is your projections going forward? How much do you think you're going to be increasing rates by in the future? Are you going to stick with 75 basis points? Are you going to stick with 50 basis points? Let the markets know what your plans are, but Jerome Powell usually likes to leave a lot of uncertainty in the markets, and that's the one thing that markets dislike more than most, and that is leaving uncertainty. But I do think he's also going to speak about wages, because even though CPI was better than expected, however, wages are still up. Almost every time when Jerome Powell speaks right after he raised rates, the one thing that he says almost all the time, and that is softening the labor market. Well, he hasn't done that because the labor market is still up. Wages are still up. And I do think we are going to hear about that a number of times today in his press conference, that he still needs to soften the labor market. And that unfortunately means jobs and wages need to come down, because in the eyes of the Federal Reserve, if there's people are making too much money, then you can go out and spend a lot of money, which would increase inflation. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think the Federal Reserve is going to do today? What do you think silver and gold is going to do today? Is 50 basis points already baked into the market? I do believe that if he does go the 75 basis point route, which the majority of the markets don't believe he's going to do, but if he did go 75 basis points, I think we're going to see silver and gold come down. If he goes 50 basis points, silver and gold may spike a little bit, but 50 basis points also may be baked in the market, since the majority of everybody believes that's exactly what he's going to do, and they've been believing that for the last couple of weeks. But one thing is guaranteed. The markets are going to move one way or another. We just don't know for sure which way that's going to be. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Everything in this video is just my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in that comment section below. I appreciate everybody for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.